Hello and welcome back. Thanks for joining us for another episode here on our exercise toolkit. Again, my name is Spencer Pollock, and today we'll be talking about our tools that are related to evaluation of your exercise. As a reminder, here on the front page, the front cover, the welcome instructions and table of contents. If you scroll down, the table of contents is all hyperlinked, and you can click from there to go to where you're trying to get to. You also can just scroll back and forth. Here's those hyperlinks. You can scroll kind of back and forth with the arrows to move left to right among the tabs, or the other option you have here is this little drop down. The little hamburger button brings up this blowout menu, and then you can select once your computer catches up here where we're going. Today we're going to head over to the evaluation section, which is our yellow section, and we will take a look at some stuff we've got together with EEGs and stuff like that. So off we go here. When we talk about evaluation, this really is one of the most important parts of the exercise. And as you recall from the video on data entry, a lot of the population data that comes into these can be put right into the data entry after your exercise is concluded. And so another little tidbit here, if you want to view this in a little smaller mode, this little guy right here, this 100%, we can just scoot it down to say 75 to see it a little bit better. Remember, EEGs are built, the exercise evaluation guides are built ahead of time, and this will help your evaluators understand what they're looking for, and then they can take some notes on what they're gonna farm back in. Beyond the EEGs, here's the note-taking section, right, that they can use to make their notes. Those critical tasks that you put up here is what they'll be looking for, and then they can assign ratings. As you come over here, a couple different tools to help kind of just understand if you've got new evaluators joining you or folks who are not as familiar with exercises. Printing these little data collection tools may be useful to help them understand their role, what they're looking at. Similarly, as you start kind of getting into the analysis phase and you're thinking about what we need to do differently, we may look at the root cause. Just because something didn't go right, that's kind of what we hope to find with exercises, give us a point to build in and reduce gaps and increase capabilities. And so here the root cause really is based off of that 5 whys. So when you look at this, you know, what was the problem that occurred? And we can say, why did that occur? You can put some notes in there if you need. And so as an example, let's say we showed up late, right? It was an exercise about firefighting, and we showed up late and the building burned down. Why did we show up late? Maybe 911 was called way late. Okay, well, why did that happen? Because folks weren't educated on calling 911. Okay, well, why was that? Because we didn't have good PSAs out and about reminding folks to call. You can see how you work through that. Typically within 5 levels, you've identified really to that core root of what we need to address. And once we've kind of talked through this and kind of used those whys in succession, we can then spell out what is that root cause we're looking at, and then start brainstorming around possible solutions. Gives you some more thoughts here. Again, this tool and others aren't necessary to get your exercise completed, but if you're striking out or kind of running your head up against the wall, remember this may be a way to kind of look back and take a peek at what's going on. As a reminder, these are certainly based in Excel, and this is one where it's not pulling stuff in from the front. Some of these, like this one, that again don't have the little padlock, are ones that you could edit right here live. So if you come up with the root cause, you can facilitate a discussion, have a note taker yourself actually type live into this with your group. As a reminder, when you print these, they pop out. Let's just take a peek here. They lose all of their all those little lines and funny stuff, right? And it comes out just regular to the printer or to PDF or whatnot, but looks pretty clean when you actually go to print them. So let's go back in here real quick. Now that you've figured out what the root causes are and what you're going to kind of work on, we have a SMART acronym, improvement plan aid. And so the IAP part of AARIP is where we dive in and kind of address, are we actually tackling stuff in a specific manner, right? We don't want to just say, we found things and we'll work on it. We want to say how we're going to move this thing forward so that next time we exercise a real world, we're not tackling those same problems. So you can use this little memory jogger, right? SMART being specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, timely. And we added the ER for evaluated and revised. And so it gives you some little prompter notes, and you could, if you want, print out a half a dozen of these and fill them out to, again, kind of give you some next steps in more detail related to your IP statement, which then we'll put back into our AARIP, our after action report and improvement plan document. Again, with the little padlock, that indicates that most of the data entry comes from the main tab, the data entry tab. And so for this, minus the pictures, we'll want to pull in stuff from that front tab. And so live edits on here are probably not a great idea. As you can see, though, it pulls in some of the stuff that you put in, your objectives, your core capabilities, as you had folks, your evaluators, assign different rankings. Was it performed, was it with challengers, or was it unsuccessful? With the definitions here, you can farm those. It comes right in from our other location. Now, this again might be where we facilitate a discussion. I have something like this up where, again, these are the data fields. You can see up here, they're looking back at that input and data entry tab. And you kind of fill this out as a group or do a draft, perhaps with a smaller group, and then bring it back for review and kind of codification. And you can see each objective has one of these pages as you work through. We scoot down towards the bottom and we run into our improvement plan matrix, right, where you use some of those discussion things that you were looking at, and you can kind of figure out what were the core capability elements, who's responsible, when's it due, all of that. And again, this all flows in, as you can see, coming from some of those other pieces up there in the data entry tab. So if you need changes, again, you fix them up there, and then this just stays a living document. Pulls in our exercise participants, right, with the points of contact and jurisdiction level. And then you can print these and again utilize the RSVP list or other lists from the front tab, do your copy paste of the email addresses, and then attach this as a PDF if you so choose. Again, thanks for joining us for a section on evaluation. I look forward to talking to you guys next time about some of the planning agendas and other items that you might find useful.